Hello YouTube, I am super excited to show you my new product. Actually I have a few, but I will show you one at a time. This was my new idea to make a PCB with a cutout for the OLED display, but it will be mounted from the back. And after I finish the design, I send it off, and I have them made by PCBway.com. My PCBs are gonna be made there from now on. I have switched from Electro to PCBway, and I'm happy to also be able to offer everybody coupons that you can use for your order on PCBway, and I will put a link on of them in the description as soon as I get them, so you might have to check back a day later after I upload this first video. So anyhow, this is the front and this is the back, and when it's finished it looks like this beauty. The display is absolutely flush in the front, as you can see. The parts are on the back. It has a micro USB port for power. It has my port for uploading code using my USB adapters with pogo pins. You just hold it on here and then you can upload the code using the Arduino IDE. Excuse me, I have a dry throat already. Here is a 4-pin female pin header. You can also power it from here, and I have the pin outs on the front. If I get it to focus, you have 5 volts in, ground. Here you have 2 digital inputs, either D2 or D9. It will change depending on the code I upload on it, and you have an analog input, analog 2. And here's the micro USB port. You have 2 LEDs on D3 and D13. You have an on-off switch for when it's powered from the micro USB port. If it's powered from here, it goes directly on it. And then you have my navigation switch here, pushing up and down. And first I was gonna, actually this is the older version, I was gonna make the pins like this, so, and they were gonna be soldered from the top, and the same also with the USB port, micro USB port. But then I wanted for it to be smooth on the front with no soldering points, so I did just point dots here, as you can see, and then it gets soldered from the back. Sorry that my camera is not focusing. And I use a different USB connector like that doesn't have the pins going out the front. So anyhow, and the SMD LEDs are mounted from the back, so you just have the small hole in the front and they shine through, so it's absolutely flat on the front. It kind of looks like a LCD TV, doesn't it? I really love this. This is my favorite PCB now, as of today. I just got them today. Let me power it up and show it to you. Okay, you have the on-off switch. Where is it? There you go. And this is the new code I have. This is oscilloscope and a frequency generator. I used that code, I showed it before, but now it's in its all beauty. So if I changed it to frequency generator and you push it in, and then it starts, and you see the PMW output, PWM output also on the LED, and then you can push in to select the increments, and when you push it up it goes higher and lower if you push it down, obviously. And you have also the PWM output that you can change from 0 to 100%, and if you go higher the LED gets brighter, you might notice it, and if you go lower excuse me, it goes dimmer all the way. So anyhow, I will use the same PCB also for my tachometer, so you can measure your RPMs on your any rotating item, and it can also be a voltmeter. And I'm sure I will think of a few other purposes I can use it for. So right now it's going to be the OLEDiSCOPE. This is the new OLEDiSCOPE. I have my regular one without the frequency generator. It can be RPM meter, tachometer, and it can be a voltmeter. And I will see what else I come up with. So, oh, and by the way, I am designing my own 3D printed cases now, and this one will basically get a back piece like this, and it will go on like that, and it will screw down from the front with 4 screws. It will of course get the proper cutouts and everything. I have designed it, but I cannot show it to you on your on the video right now. And I will have also case for my OLEDiCATE PCB, which will arrive tomorrow. And this has 4 games on it: Pac-Man, Flappy Bird, what was the other one? Breakout, and a 4th game. I can't think of it right now. It's pretty late at night, actually 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was up all day. I had to drive to a different town to pick these PCBs up from DHL and pay customs and such. Anyhow, this is my new PCB, and I really love it. I really love it. I'm sorry it's pretty dark in here. I should have other lights. Anyhow, this was number 1. I also have my SMD CNC controllers in white now. These came from Elecro. They were yellow. And I will also have them in white now. And after the yellow ones are sold out, I will stick with white. I think it does look nicer. Anyhow, and I also got these 2 PCBs that I designed, and as you can see, these are Juki Nozzle Holders by Hyri. They consist of 2 pieces, and if they're screwed together, you get this guy here. So this will be used on my PNP machine, my pick and place machine. And as you see, it consists of the 2 PCBs. The lower one has bigger cutouts, the top one has smaller ones. And the nozzles they just slide in. I have to do it off camera here so I can see what I'm doing. So they slide in, and they are held by the magnets here without touching them. So that should eliminate any from them to get magnetized. So and I need one, or maybe I keep two for if I get more than 5 nozzles, and I have 3 more nozzle holders that I can build. If anyone is interested, let me know. I don't know if I'm gonna put them up on Tindy, but probably will. Those are screwed together, and it has another small clue. The bottom PCB, the one on the bottom, has LEDs, 5 LEDs that I can put on there. For why? Because just I like LEDs, so they're gonna be either in between the two PCBs, which I don't think will show much, but since these are symmetric, I can just turn it around and have the LEDs face the bottom, so it will get you indirect lighting for your machine. And the power does not go out through wires, it goes out, those pads are connected and labeled, if I can see it, plus minus. So if you mount this thing, these are metal standoffs, you screw them from the bottom and then you can attach the wires on the bottom, so you have no wires showing but LED lighting up. And I also received this L bracket today for my NEMA 8 stepper motor for the pick and place machine for the head, and this basically will come, go down, slide it out, slide it in and pick it up again. This is how the changer works. It's a pretty stiff right now, but the PCBs, since they're screwed together, they have no flex. Without being screwed together they would flex, but now that it's all screwed together there is no flex whatsoever. So that's how it's gonna work. Anyhow, oh, I also wanted to show you something very little. Excuse me again. You might know what these are. Those are for electronic cigarettes, the tanks for the e-liquid, and I had found and bought some stands for those, so you can stick them in there. And while I had one in my hand the other day, I figured, might this work as a stand for my cordless motion screwdriver? And it does. Of course, like that I wouldn't do it without making this not permanent, but without gluing this down, because if I move my table it might fall over like that. So I just stuck some double-sided tape on the bottom and glued it over here, maybe you can see it a little, and then I can just put it in there and it stays in there, it won't fall over. So if you have the screwdriver like that and want a easy, small, inexpensive way to hold it on your table without having to lay it down and be afraid that it's gonna roll away or something like that, just get those. I'm sure you will find them on eBay or AliExpress. I actually got them, I think, from Fast Tech. They cost like $1 each or even less. So you just stick some double-sided tape on the bottom, glue it wherever you have it. You could even have more on your desk or workstation or wherever. I'm gonna put one of those next to my PCB machine, PNP machine, pick and place machine, and then since I have 2 of those anyway, I can just put them on there and use them whenever I need them. So that was something else I wanted to show you. And I also got a new keyboard because the keyboard on my laptop is pretty much dead. I have to hit the keys real hard, and I got this beauty from Banggood. I will make a separate video on this, of course. It is wired and wireless Bluetooth keyboard, and it's a 60% keyboard. I won't go much in details now, but I just love NeoPixels, and I think it just looks gorgeous. You can have many different modes that you can set and colors and whatnot. I just made it like this for now, since it doesn't have dedicated cursor keys, and you use them with the function keys, with those here, or with those 4 buttons. So this was more convenient for me, so I did it like that. Anyhow, like I said, I'm gonna make a separate video on that, but my main objective on this video was my new OLEDiSCOPE, and I really think this looks just beautiful. And with the case on the back, it's gonna be secured on the back, so you won't get any shorts or whatever. Before it was an open PCB, and actually before it was a single PCB, my OLED Max, with a display attached on top of it, and it was okay for the time being, but I think this blows it out of the water. Plus I have dedicated keys and whatnot, nicely labeled, and my name is on there too, of course. I put it everywhere. Some people might not like it, but I heard someone once saying, if you're proud of doing something, you put your name on it, and that's what I did. I also soldered the display on the bottoms. It was held here, of course, but then first I was gonna make holes here so it will get screwed down, but I figured I didn't want more holes or screws, and I just made pads here that the display solders here to these points, and I got 4 little dots which are called fiducials or something like that, and these are needed for the pick and place machine to measure where the board is, and then it's gonna obviously put the parts on there, and I will reflow them in my oven. I did also reflow this, of course, without the display. I did the display later on, and the female pin header, but everything else was soldered with the reflow oven. Anyhow, this is my new gem. I hope you liked the video. I'm sorry it's almost 18 minutes. I hope you're still with me. And like I said, I will have coupons for PCBWay. And I have to say they did absolute beautiful job on this. And I'm glad that I switched. Also, another small thing I want to say is this is the PCB from Elecro, and well, let me just tell you, because you're not going to be able to read it or see it, but if you look in between here, it just looks like a black line right here. There's absolutely no way you can see what that means. And now look at PCBWay. Can you read it? 47 nano. So this is the difference between PCBWay on the left, this side. You can read the 47 nano. On the right, Elecro, and you cannot read it. Impossible. It's not just on one place, it's everywhere. So from now on it's gonna be PCBWay. Just the shipping with DHL sucks, to be honest. It's not so much the shipping, it's the nice people here in Bulgaria working there, and they call me what's in there, how much you paid and everything, even though they have the invoice and see what it is. and I still have to tell them what it is. I have to go to a broker, fill out a form, go to the bank, or go to the customs, take a paper, go to the bank, pay the customs fee, and then go back to customs again, get another paper, and go back to DHL to pick up my package. And anyhow, that's another story, long story. So I'm shortly over 20 minutes. Thank you very much for watching, and take care, everybody.